And good afternoon and welcome to this edition of Central Valley Business. I'm your host, Lauren Baker, filling in for Mike Scott, and we are so excited to have you introduce you all to Maggui Ledbetter, who is an author and artist of this wonderful book you see in front of us right now. And it looks super cool. I'm so excited, and we hope that she'll be able to tell us all about it when it's coming out. I'll just let her tell you for herself, so welcome, Maggui.
Thank you. We have two books. The first one that I illustrated was How Far Is Heaven? Great Message.
And it's being sold in several venues, and it's just becoming very successful. And I just finished illustrating the second one, which is called The Blanket of Miracles by Linda Beulah.
I love that.
This is a really neat story based on true facts about a family, and it's a bilingual story, and I used my childhood experiences to illustrate it. It was just a pleasure, both books. So that's about that.
How long does it usually take you to do the projects like these where you're illustrating for books?
From the time the publisher asks you to do it and you sign a contract, that's kind of negotiable between the two of you. It's been an average of 4, 5, 6 months to do a book about this size and this size. This was, I believe, 22 illustrations, and this one was 23 or 23 paintings.
They're gorgeous.
Yes, the paintings the originals are like this. I do watercolors, and so it would be on real watercolor paper, and most of those are at home. They're bulky, but then you have them professionally scanned, and this is a dummy book. This is just a mock-up of what the real book is going to look like. We go through and edit it and make corrections. The graphic artist does. There's quite a process before the book gets printed.
Yeah. Why do you choose watercolor as your medium, and how did you get into it?
That is my strongest medium. I also do acrylics and oils, and of course sketching and pen and ink. But watercolor seems to be the medium that I've stayed with the longest, and it's the one that gets chosen. People like watercolors for these children's books.
Mm-hmm. There's something comforting about it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so far, between these two, which one has been your favorite to work on?
Oh my goodness. Well, this was my first one. That was a neat experience. I was taking art lessons, which I highly recommend everyone do. A writer's workshop, a writing class. I go to one currently with Janice Stevens, who is my writing teacher, and also enrolled in an art class with Pat Hunter as my teacher, and they're both co-owners of Art Gallery 2 here in Fresno. And you get a lot of encouragement by going there and surrounding yourself with other publishers and other illustrators, and you learn a lot, and it's a great support group, great networking group. We have so much talent here in the Central Valley. You don't need to be in New York or San Francisco or Los Angeles anymore to publish a book, because there's publishers everywhere that are looking for new, fresh work from authors and hopefully illustrators too.
That's very true. I'm glad you brought that up.
Well, my favorite one, I can't choose. This is these illustrations are a lot of memories from my childhood, but this was also reminded me a lot of my son, John. So I can't really choose. A part of your heart goes into everything you do with writing and illustrating, so that would be a hard one. They were both wonderful.
Well, that's good,
Enjoyed
though.
it.
Because then I feel like no matter which book you choose, you're going to get a wonderful piece of someone's soul no matter what. And that's
Very
really
true.
beautiful. Would you ever, or have you already made plans perhaps to do your own children's book where you also write them as well as do the
Yes, I'm in chapter, I think it's chapter 7 or 8 of a chapter book that was only supposed to be a short one-chapter children's book. This is a page and a half of text, regular print when you get it. And look what a large book it makes. I mean, it's just incredible. So I can't quit writing this story. I just keep going. So I don't know where it's going to end up, but I've enjoyed that also, and can't wait to illustrate my own book. So I think in the next few months I'll wrap it up.
Ooh, can we
hopefully.
ask what kind of a story it is?
Yes, it's called Pink Can Notes, and it's about just a period of 2 or 3 years of childhood adventures
Oh,
and a best friend.
I like
True
stories
story.
like that personally, about like childhood like adventuring, because it's like it's a magical time. You can't really get back once you've like outgrown and you know become an adult.
Yes.
Kind
It's
of a thing.
That 10, 11-year-old is a perfect age. It was for me.
I agree. Well, I want to thank you so much for being here. Your work is fabulous. Where can people get this book if like they're interested in buying it and looking at it?
Amazon.com, and I know the Book Barn here in Clovis has it, and different venues. The author, I think, would sell too. She's Kathy Gorman, and I don't have her website.
I'm sure you could find it online though. Like if you just look up How Far Is Heaven by Kathy Gorman. Hopefully you can see there's not too much glare, but as she said, it's on Amazon, or you could go to Clovis and look it up. And this other one, the Blankets of Miracles, I think. I can't read upside down.
The Blanket of Miracles.
Yeah, Blanket of Miracles. Like, is this one close to being finished as far as publication goes?
Yes, it's within weeks.
Oh, okay, so this one is not out yet, but stay close and keep track on this one, because this one, I think, like, they're both beautiful, but this one I'm a little bit more intrigued by, just because I don't know, there's something magical about it. So I'm personally going to keep tabs, and I think all of you should as well. But
It is a magical story. That's even
Yeah.
in here. The description, the historical description of well, I shouldn't take up more of your time, but
it really does.
yeah, it's a true story.
I love true stories, so that makes it better. It's art and it's a true story. It's telling a story about a real story. But that's fabulous. Thank you so much for being
Thank
here,
you.
Maggie.
I enjoyed it.
I'm so glad, and I hope you'll be back to promote your own story with us in the future.
I'd love to. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Stay right here on Central Valley Business. We have a whole bunch of other authors and artists coming up today on our show right here on Central Valley Talk.